hello. Welcome to the big broadcast as we are live across 3 major networks: Facebook,
Yes.
YouTube, and Twitch.
Those are the major networks anymore, to be honest. We've done it right. We moved from the radio and then went right to the major networks of YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Welcome in all the new subscribers. We appreciate
Yes.
everyone clicking through. Welcome into the live show. Thanks for checking out the shorts and subscribing. Continue, share, subscribe our stuff. We appreciate it. And join in the conversation at 707-4-Monkey. And comment wherever you're watching as well, one of those major networks.
If you're shy, you can always just leave a comment below and we'll interact with you thusly. But boy, we got a lot to do today, including a new feature that's coming up. We've got lots of sex and poo going on. I mean, there's just it's a messy show, but I think
from Japan to Minnesota, we have genitals involved in various places around the world. So we'll get to that. And even the happiest place on earth has had a genital show up. So,
but we got to kick it off with This Week in Slow-Mo.
Twismo.
The moment everyone's been talking about.
He had one job.
When J.D. Vance, alum of Ohio State, had the opportunity to stand there with the Ohio team.
Ohio State Buckeyes, the Ohio State Buckeyes, national champions, visiting the White House.
And he decides he wants to play with the trophy.
Normally, the Prez likes to handle all this, right? Mm-hmm. He'll get the whole big schmear of fast food for everybody. And so, but he understood J.D. Vance, vice president, went to that school, give him his moment. Let him have his flowers. And much like what most of this administration has done in 80 days, they fumble it in a big, major way.
All right, so we got a lot to get into here in This Week in Slow-Mo, but let's at least look at the crime as it occurred from 2 different camera angles.
Yep, we're the champions. Oh, God. Now Ryan Day has to come in. Says, no, just hold that part.
And fortunately, Abraham Zapruder was standing off to the side as well, so we have it from another angle.
Perfect.
Almost knocked the table over.
Here's the thing. It would have been bad enough had it broken off the top part, right? Because I can understand you may not know it comes in 2 parts, okay? But then not being able to hold the bottom part, that's the thing that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
You fumble the one part that you actually had a hold of, that you can't even do. That just rolls away from you. The old fumble, like Keith Jackson would yell.
Yeah, and I like the way it sort of just goes over his shoulder, and thank God there's a receiver nearby.
Right, exactly. All right, so here we go. Fumble! Fumble-rama! Oh, he's lucky it didn't go off the stage. That was this close to rolling down the stage.
I don't know who he's standing next to there in the tan suit, but it lands right on his foot. It looks like it hurt. I mean, just once goes right on his. You know when you drop something on your ankle?
Oh yeah. That's the worst.
Yeah, watch the base just.
Okay, I didn't see that part.
Where the base ends up.
All right, here we go.
Bam!
Ooh. And that guy, to his credit, holds on to the trophy because he's an actual athlete, knows what's going on, and then goes, yeah, no, it goes like this. It goes like this, Vice President. and then he's got to put it down, and then Ryan Day, the head coach, has to come over and says, no, just hold that part. Is there anything more? There's no coming back from that, right?
Right.
Now he tries to be cool, and he's holding on this gold statue like, yeah, there's no coming back from that. Here we go.
Watch the foot. Boom.
Ooh, right off the top of the ankle.
Yeah. It like scrapes him on the shin and just lands right. Yeah, pretty.
I need to look into
hideous.
who was that and if he played in the spring game this past weekend or not.
Right. Yeah, and we've all done that where you're carrying something heavy and it just gets out of your hands and it goes just right down the front of your shin and lands on that real sensitive top part of your foot.
Oh, God. Oof. Pardon me. I'm sorry I dropped you dropped your trophy there. Fumble! J.D. Vance, vice president, loses the ball on 4th and 1.
Chasing it like he's trying to catch a kitten.
Exactly.
Get back here. Get back here.
He almost looked like Charlie Chaplin trying to pick up his hat in the majority of his movies back in the day, like keeps kicking it forward, like, come back here, you.
So I took some time and decided I was going to isolate some moments because there's 30, 40 players standing up there, plus dignitaries from the university, and the president and the vice president is standing there. So let's just first kind of zoom in on Vice President Vance.
Okay. Concentration. To his credit, I will say this. To his credit, lifted with his legs, not his back.
Right.
When he finally picked it up. Yeah. Where do you think he lost? Where do you think he knew he lost it? There's a lot of concentration to start. But at what point can we pinpoint where he's like, oh, I am effed?
Let's watch
like this thing is going down, and it's going down in a big way. Right there. Right there is, and he knows it's done.
Yeah. And there's a part of him that's going, this is going to smack me in the nose, isn't it? I mean, just the direction that it's going, it's going to smack me in the nose.
If you look at it, it looks like he limbos around it to try to pick up the other part of the trophy. But that's the point right there when he knows, oh shit, I'm going to be just ridiculed by the internet throughout the rest of time now.
You know, it's interesting that the thing he tries to save is the base, not the important part.
Well, that's already been taken care of by an actual real person.
Right.
Like, if you notice immediately, that one player standing next to him already has it under control.
Yeah.
He's got this.
Yeah, but he gives up pretty quickly.
You're right. He gets out the way pretty quick. Sets it back down. Now I'll hold this part. Turn to the president. Look at me, Dad.
Yeah.
Right here.
There. Right.
See
what happened?
He doesn't give a crap about the goal part.
Yeah.
You're right.
He very quickly lets go of the actual trophy itself.
Yeah.
Watch that.
He does. You're right.
This thing.
The base. It's all. I'm like Meghan Trainor. I'm all about that base. About that base. What a dingus.
Yeah.
What an absolute dingus.
It's like you're playing football in the house and you knock over the table that has your mom's precious vase on it and you try to catch the table.
True. Like, oh no, not the table.
Yeah.
Let the vase fall. I don't give a crap about that. Oh no. And the table does move about 5 feet.
Yeah.
Down he goes. Thank God those other two were there.
Yeah.
All right, here it is. Once again, the slow-mo of Vance himself and Twismo. This being slow-mo. Right, I'm screwed. And then he just gives up, and then he ducks. These guys help by moving that part out of the way. Now he's trying to grab the cat from the floor. Yay, I did it. Let's put it back together.
All right, let's keep an eye on some of the Ohio State players who've traveled a long way for this monumental event. These two guys, right over the president's right shoulder, know exactly what has happened immediately.
Okay. Whoops! That guy knew right away, and he's like, "Anybody else see that? Was I the only one?"
Oops. We have a full comment here. Sorry about that. There we go. Buckets of the White House dancer is just circumstance. Nobody seemed to laugh when the trophy split. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry, Greg. That's our poet laureate. Buckeyes at the White House dance, or was it just circumstance that nobody seemed to laugh when the trophy split in half in the hands of alum J.D. Vance? That's a great limerick.
That's well crafted. Limerick.
All right.
Well put together.
Now we have another player. This guy is immediately behind the vice president.
He knew right away. Yeah. Whoa! So we give that guy from did anybody else see that to this guy go, oh damn.
Yeah. And this one off to the side, I really feel for him because he looks like he's like, man, I have been dreaming of this day since I was in middle school, and this is what it has come to. Just watch his watch how he ingests all of this.
So embarrassed. He is embarrassed to call himself an American right there in that moment.
What has happened? That's the trophy. It's all I.
Yes. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this, and this is the thanks I get.
Yeah, I didn't even get to kiss it
before this Nimrod broke it. Dick. That's hilarious. Just utter disappointment right there. I love the variety of reactions. They've been all over the map.
Yeah, they really have. This play, I like this guy because he's immediately shocked and then immediately laughs.
Okay, perfect. Ooh. That's funny. That's funny. Look at the vice president trying to pick up our trophy. I got a snicker. That's awesome.
Y'all see that?
Yeah, exactly. Oh! I got to see this reaction.
And now the president of the United States, who is in his classic stance of, "Is there a camera?"
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Right.
Look at me.
Because
go ahead. Before we go any further, can I say what's more? I don't want to say impressive, but does Ryan Day use too much hair dye, the coach on the right, or does Trump use too much bronzer? Who uses too much?
The camera's having a hard time.
Exactly.
The camera's having a hard time to compensate.
Twismo, you make the call. Is it too much hair dye on Ryan Day or too much bronzer on the president? You make the call at 7:07 for Monkey.
So this is in slow motion, but the president's reaction is also in slow motion. The players know what have happened, but he's still grinning at the camera.
Of course.
Yeah, even he's making the face of
duck lips.
Oh, JD, why did I pick you?
Lips. Right, he went full duck lips there.
But then he goes back to the camera.
Ryan Day laughs. Who's clapping? Oh man,
we don't know what was said there, but he almost has a look on his face like, is that supposed to come apart? Is that a thing? Right. Is it modular like that?
Looking at this slow-mo reaction, this is like the cool kids table when the nerd tried to play sports.
Right.
That's what you just saw right there. All the jocks are laughing at the nerd who attempted to do something athletic and biffed it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Now,
vibe I get.
there is one of the most amazing things that I don't think anybody has picked up on. Right over the president's left shoulder, I've highlighted the kid here. Tell me if he's not immediately doing a Trump impersonation. Keep an eye on the player to the president's left.
Oh, he is. He totally is.
That's what he's doing, right? He's doing the president thing.
He's doing the Trump.
He goes,
Gonna be huge, viral moment. JD Vance, gonna be huge. Gonna get so many clicks. Good on that kid.
Good. I mean, within microseconds, he just decides he's gonna clown it up, and
yes,
and do there's no way he's not doing a Trump impersonation there.
Correct.
Right?
You're absolutely correct. That's exactly what he's doing. There's no doubt about it.
And he just goes right into the...
So huge. That's amazing. That kid, give that kid the Heisman Trophy next year.
Right over his shoulder. I love that.
That takes guts and moxie. And I love both of those things. Way to be, kid. That's probably like the walk-on, too.
Yeah.
That's a kid who, didn't do much during the season, but he's like, you know what? I got an opportunity. I'm going to ham this up. Well done, sir. Well done. Gonna be huge.
What I love is, Trump can hear him. That's what I...
You would think he's right over the shoulder.
Right in his ear.
It's like straight out of a movie when someone's like making fun of someone and they turn around slowly and they're like, he's right behind me, isn't he?
Right. Like Chevy Chase mocking Jane Curtin and
Yeah, right, exactly. Right behind him. They're right behind me, aren't they? Son of a bitch.
I don't know who that kid is, but I love him. That is the best.
That was amazing. So huge. Gonna be right. He's got the mannerism down too. All the way with the red tie and everything. I love it.
Oh my God.
That was a good Twismo. That was a good This Week in Slow-Mo.
I spent a lot of time trying to keep an eye on every player that was in the stand, that was in the background there. And when I saw that kid, it was like, that is the moment. I mean, as funny as it is that JD drops the damn trophy, that really is the
chef's kiss. Did Pam Bondi ask you at all to look over the Zapruder film when she released all the JFK stuff with how well you did with that particular video?
Yeah,
I know she's watching. Don't mind the internet for any bad comments about any of their administration.
Yeah.
Yep, Ryan Day. Nope, you put that. No, we don't. No, you just hold that part. Then he holds it weird.
I know.
Like, hold it up like Simba, bro.
Yeah, and he looks at it like it was the trophy's fault. That's a faulty trophy. Wasn't me.
It is. No one told me it was going to come apart. That's totally somebody else's fault. What a doof.
Oh, my God.
That was awesome. And there it goes. Oh. Has someone done it yet? Someone should run the AI Keith Jackson voice over it. Be like, Vance under center. Vance takes a snap. Oh, it's a fumble. There goes the trophy. Whoa, Nelly, let me tell you about an idiot handling an NCAA championship trophy. Live from the White House lawn.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Oh, that was quite the Twismo we had there.
God bless America.
Yeah. Speaking of champions and sporting events,
speaking of sports.
Yes. Some sperm racing.
This racing
startup. Yeah, this startup company got a $1 million grant to do exactly what it says, sperm racing. They built a special microscopic racetrack to face off 2 sperm samples. And they say what makes the racetrack unique is that it mimics the reproductive system, copying, quote, chemical symbols, fluid dynamics, and synchronized starts. So you can log on to this, and it's happening like April 25th is the inaugural sperm race. They're going to have live audience, and you can watch online. The winner will be the first sperm to cross the finish line. Now, we're turning it into a spectacle, says one of the guys who are the co-founders and the startup founder, Eric Zhu. He says there's going to be weigh-ins, live stream races with play-by-play commentary, and of course, betting. Can I just say, you have a problem in sports betting if you bet on sperm races. If you're like, what's the line on the sperm race? I gotta get in on this action.
Yeah, that's where your DraftKings app automatically calls the addiction line for you.
Correct. The startup says that the world's first sperm race will be held in front of a live audience at the Hollywood Palladium on April 25th. More than 1,000 seats are available, and the event is expected to sell out. They said not only is sperm racing going to be a spectacle, but the project is about something much bigger, Johnny. It's about male fertility.
Oh.
The company Sperm Racing's manifesto cites that male fertility is declining, adding that, quote, nobody's really talking about it. So that's why they've decided to do it. They said, we want to get the conversation started.
This is how we're talking about it.
Yes, sperm racing isn't just about sperm racing, Johnny. It's about turning health into a competition. It's about making male fertility something people actually want to talk about, track, and improve. And if we
And
just so
apparently
happen
watch. Yeah.
and apparently watch, and if it just so happens we make a ton of money from DraftKings or whatever else may be on the betting side of things, so be it. So be it. They say one of the best ways to get people to care about something is to turn it into a competition. So that's what they're doing with sperm racing on April 25th.
They've got a promotional sizzle reel. Do we need to watch this?
Oh, sure. Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay.
They have a website.
They have a website. That's where I found this. The
you don't know if you
website
want to.
is spermracing.com.
Surprised that's still actually available. Can't believe someone didn't already snatch that one up.
Everything big always starts small.
Yo, listen, you hear that? Killers in the jungle.
This is the world's first ever sperm race.
Why are they boxing that?
That's a good question.
This is Asher from UCLA versus Tristan from USC. Two legends on microscopic racetrack. The battle.
Legends of what?
Sperm.
Legends of what? Is my
The
question.
Healthiest, the fastest, and the tastiest. Whose
What?
swimmers will win the race? USC versus UCLA. Friday, April 25th. Live on spermracing.com.
Do we need to get these guys on next week for an interview?
Yeah,
I think
we
we
do.
Good
Or
Lord.
at least talk to the winner.
Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous. That sizzle reel is terrible. Absolutely terrible.
I don't know. I don't know what we've learned from that.
And yeah, well, we're talking about it. So we're talking about male fertility. So sperm racing coming next Friday. Pardon the pun. You can't. I don't know if I can say that. Can I say that? That should have been their tagline? So, and the tastiest. What? Why does that have to be? Why does that have to be put in there? Just gross. Also on the gross front. Go ahead.
Well, and you're absolutely right. It's not going to do what they think it's going to do. Instead, we're talking about the nonsense of the race, and nobody's talking about male fertility, up, down, good, bad.
And if you're worried about male fertility, why pick two dudes that seem to be in the best shape of their lives in college? If you really want to make this a conversation and do what you say you're partly setting out to do, it should be two tubby middle-aged guys, sperm, going at it. And like the sperm would be like them, like hardly being able to run uphill.
There's just a list of names behind the team. This is Luke Hawash, whose handle is Mr. Sperm Racing. I don't know if you can see that there.
You can't do that. Does anyone want to be known as Mr. Sperm Racing?
Oops.
Oh, these are the guys behind Sperm Racing.
Mm-hmm.
What a bunch of jamokes. I will say this to go back
God.
to go back to Twismo. That's one championship trophy that probably would slip out of your hands. I will say that. Staying on the gross topic of bodily fluids, here's a guy over in Japan who was working at a post office in the Osaka prefecture and was sending used condoms containing bodily fluids to a female colleague at the same post office.
So they
he
mean
would.
tears, right? Is what they're going for.
Yes, that's
Earwax,
exact.
sweat.
Yeah. Sweat. He
Those.
collected his sweat. Police say Yashiro Nakajima, who works at a post office in Osaka Prefecture, sent the condoms and other items in an envelope, I should say, to his colleague in mid-December. How did they nab this criminal and know it was him? Well, because he was identified after a DNA test of the envelope's contents.
You didn't count on that, did you?
No, Nakajima. Here's what his defense was, though, Johnny. Police said Nakajima has denied the allegations and quoted him as saying, quote, I sent the letter to satisfy my sexual desires, but that did not interfere with her work. I mean, I just sent the
That's
letter
right.
filled with bodily fluid filled condoms. That has nothing to do with, I mean, she should still be able to do her work, even though she knows the guy next to her saves his old condoms and then brings them in and puts them in an envelope and says it's okay to mail to her. I mean, what's the problem, Your Honor?
Yeah, none of her business what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. It's my kink. By the way, similar envelopes were sent to women working at more than a dozen post offices last year. And guess who they're questioning in that case? Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Nakajima. Mr. Nakajima.
Because I don't think there's anybody else that's.
Right. I don't know if there's anybody else. No offense, not to get too graphic here on the three major networks, and chime in if you have any comments on any of these. But there's only one person who would have access to be able to do that. Because if you were to walk in, unless you're tying it off, right? Unless you're tying the used condom off and putting that in the envelope, you're not usually going to get that past the first step of mailing it.
Right.
Right. If you try to do this, people are going to look at it weird. And it's just so you had to have someone inside the post office to allow that even get to the point to where it's being mailed to someone. So I'm pretty sure it's old Nakajima that's taking care of the other 12. By the way, that's a lot.
Yes.
That's a lot. That's a lot of work for Nakajima on many fronts.
Yeah.
To save that and mail it off to people.
And how arousing could that possibly be?
I don't know. I mean,
let's get him on the show too. We'll get the sperm guy and this guy on the show, and we'll have them talk to each other. And we'll just take the
what
week
he
off.
needs to do is send that to the sperm race.
Yeah.
See how his sperm does. I think they're a match made in heaven there, Mr. Nakajima and the sperm racing folks, because that's just absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. Tremendous.
Yeah, that's not a way to get someone's attention when you're trying to make a move for maybe a romantic relationship. But you have some other things you should not do in order to get women's attention.
You know, it's funny. When I moved to Chicago recently, I got on some of the city Reddit pages for the city of Chicago and the neighborhood that I live in. And about every 4 or 5 days, somebody will post and say, I'm sick of the apps. Where do I go to meet somebody? Right.
Okay.
And the reason people, I think, are sick of the apps is just because of the way the conversations go. And so one of the apps that is based out of England did a survey. They surveyed 1,000 single people and asked them, what message do you hate to receive online?
Oh, this should be good.
78% of the people responded they hate it when someone just writes to them and says, hey, hi.
Okay. Why is that so upsetting?
I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly why. I guess because it says, all right,
Vague.
it's vague. It says, it's kind of throwing the ball into her court and saying, okay, now you do something.
Okay,
I
I
think
get
is
that.
probably what the deal is.
But I don't know if I would just get a random hi text if I would be, or a hey text if I'd be that upset by it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, what do you want me to do with this information?
72% of the people say they don't like it when somebody writes and says, "You up?"
Well, that's a Nakajima situation then.
Yeah, that's
You're
the
gonna
only
get.
reason you ever send that text is for a booty situation.
Mhm.
Cheesy pickup lines in general, not this specific one. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Anything like that.
Yeah.
Not interested.
Are you from
Um,
Tennessee? Because you're only a 10 IC on the internet. Also terrible.
um, hey, beautiful. Hey, handsome.
That's
I
bad.
usually
Hey,
never message first,
oh, God.
but I was so
That's
compelled by you, I had to message first.
that is the dating app version of I'm not racist, but you know you know that nothing good is going to come after that particular start of the sentence. I never usually write first, but blah 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 blah.
And I wonder I mean, why would you, first of all, why would you lay that out? Why didn't you just say, yeah, it's not a crime to message first. That's really the idea of the dating apps is to hopefully make some sort of a contact. But I don't know why is it just because they're playing coy? Like, I don't use the message first, but I was so
I'm
overwhelmed
shy.
by it.
I'm shy. I don't usually message first, but here's a pic of my dick is what
Yeah,
usually follows
that's
after that.
true.
That's usually how that starts.
43% don't like it when you just say, "What are you up to?" or "Free tonight."
Those are both kind of the same as you up.
Yeah. 40% say they
Oh,
do not like and have received "You remind me of my ex."
which means that 60% of people don't mind that.
Well, right, right.
60% go, okay, cool. I remind you of someone you already broke up with. Check.
Yeah. Next on the list, tell me why we should date.
I'm
Like
not here
it's
for a quiz.
yeah. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Right, exactly. Corporate synergy.
Number
Buzzwords.
number 38, or I'm the next one on the list. 38% said, "I'm here for a good time, not a long time."
Once again, that's someone who just wants friends with benefits. I don't want a relationship. I just want a bang bang.
Yeah, and it's again, is it one of those if I throw enough darts, I'm gonna hit something
Yes.
thing? Is that
Oh
I mean
yeah.
is that what it is?
I'm sure that whoever is responding in that particular way has sent that to whoever they feel they've matched with,
Yeah.
and they cast a wide net, and inevitably it's worked once or twice, and so they just keep going back to it.
You're the woman of my dreams. Doesn't go over too well. Why are you single?
No, they
What's
immediately ask a very personal question.
what kind of disease do you have that's causing you to be single?
Yeah, that's a little invasive.
hmm
And
People
here's
don't
the
like.
creepiest one,
Yeah. Are you
the
on
last one,
Instagram?
because I'm going to Nakajima myself and
hmm
send you the remains. Don't stalk people on the internet. They don't like
Sure.
that.
What's your number? And
You, you look like trouble.
you look like yeah. What woman wouldn't like to hear that? You look like trouble.
You know. Hey, beautiful, you look like trouble.
I bet you get loads of messages. I'm just one.
Oh God, no one likes boasting. I'd treat you right, baby.
hmm
Yikes. Oh God.
Yeah.
At number 17, that's way too forward.
Yeah. We'd have beautiful children. That's just gross.
I don't usually message first, but we'd have beautiful children.
Right.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and that there's a subset of men who go, this one's going to work. She is going to, and this is going to, let me see. What do women like? They like babies?
Right. And be called beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey, beautiful, we'd have beautiful children.
And then how long have you been single? It seems to be prying for like are you damaged goods?
Right.
Like when you see a house that's on the market for too long.
Right. What's wrong with it? Was there a
Yeah.
murder in there?
Hang
Is there
on.
mold? Is there mold in the basement? What's going on? I got to figure this out. How long have you been single?
So that is what they recommend. Those people recommend that you do not say on a date or on a dating app.
Here's
Don't
Yeah,
do this
here's
on a
what you
date.
should here's what you should not do for a possible date night if you are in a relationship. This woman was excited. It had been forever since her and her husband had some time alone. So he's like, hey, you want to go to dinner? And I, of course, said yes. She says, I assumed he wanted to take me out on a date night before he starts his work week. So she's all excited. They're driving there. They get to the restaurant. When we parked, all of a sudden I see his parents. And I instantly felt extremely annoyed because not once did he ever mention his parents.
Wait,
I,
you don't spring that on somebody.
she goes, I love them. They aren't the issue. It's just the fact of how he went about it that left me feeling disrespected and angry. And 707-4-Monkey is the number to chime in, or if you want to chime in via comments, how would you handle this particular situation? That she was like, so I was upset. I was mad. I was angry. And he was like, well, what's wrong? To your point, Johnny, you can't just spring parents on someone.
Yeah, I mean, even if she says she gets along with the parents just fine, but even that deserves a, hey, by the way, my parents are coming over. Hey, by the way, when we go to dinner, my parents will be there. That's all you got to do.
Correct. A bunch of people she took to the internet, and a bunch of people were kind of, had opinions. One commenter wrote, ask him why he didn't tell you. You need to set rules in place moving forward. They need to tell you when others are coming as well. You thought you're having a romantic date. This was very disappointing. In response, the poster wrote, I did. And his response was, because it's a restaurant we also go to with his family at times that he thought I would have known. What do you mean? Just because we've gone there once before with my parents, you should have known that they're going to show up?
Yeah, no. And so they
That
had to sit
bothered.
together. But yeah, this is a terrible date.
Yeah, they just bothered me more honestly. My feelings just felt hurt and disregarded. I really wanted to leave because at that point it felt mentally exhausting having to act happy around others when I truly felt bothered inside.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can't do that. It's either date night or a meeting for a meal with our parents.
I mean,
It's
in her
not.
mind, yeah, there was gonna be
Yeah,
wine and a nice tiramisu,
right at the end the meal. That's what you have to do.
maybe some
That's what you have to
salmon
do.
patties. I don't know what else you do
Something like.
when
Why have you been single so long? I don't know. Salmon patties and tiramisu.
you want to go out for salmon
That's
patties. I got some free time. It's Wednesday. I got nothing going on. You want to go out, you and me, go get some salmon patties?
and they got a great tiramisu afterwards because nothing compliments fish than coffee flavored dessert. That's why Johnny may be single for a while.
I'm gonna try that.
Yikes.
I'm gonna fire up Hinge here later and say, "Want to go out for salmon patties?"
Good Lord. So right. Salmon patty is delicious, but it's not a first date meal.
I don't know
I
why
just don't think
not.
so. Yeah, true. It's economical and it's delicious. So yeah, I understand why she was upset. You
Yeah.
can't spring the parents on her out of nowhere. Her feelings are validated, and he's just kind of a jamoke. I feel in that particular situation to do that to her. Speaking of jamokes,
Yeah. Oh wow, look
let
at
me
this guy.
let me introduce you to I kid you not, Edward Cocaine. That's his
That's his name.
actual. That's his actual name is Edward Cocaine. Now, I don't know if he goes by Cocania or whatever it may be, but old Eddie, how old do you think Eddie is, by the way, just by that picture? How old do you think he would be?
He looks like he's got 42 years under him.
45.
45.
Is
All right.
old Edward Cocaine. So Edward Cocaine walks into a Subway, all right? And he gets into an argument with the employees at the Subway over what he believed were their bad attitudes. I'm Edward Cocaine. Don't you know who the hell I am?
Don't
You
cop an
better
attitude
take
with
care of
Edward
me.
Cocaine.
Don't mess with Edward Cocaine. According to the sheriff's office, Cocaine became so irate with the employees that yelling at them from across the counter wasn't enough. So Edward Cocaine walks into this Subway and feels he's being disrespected. He starts yelling across the counter and then says, no. You're messing with Edward Cocaine. Cocaine then went behind the counter and pushed one of the employees before pulling out a knife.
Oh my God.
What in the hell is happening at a Subway?
Was it one of the Subway knives? Those really long ones that they used to cut bread?
I think it would have had to have been, right? I'll show you you don't have any 7-seasoned Italian bread. I'm Edward Damn Cocaine. You bake it right now. I see the damn ovens. I'm Edward Cocaine. Oh, is the monkey phone ringing?
Monkey phone's ringing. Better go to the monkey
All right,
phone real quick.
Let's go to the monkey phone.
Mm-hmm.
Before we finish the ballad of Edward Cocaine.
Yeah.
Do we have the monkey phone?
No, monkey phone hung up. Sorry.
Oh, monkey phone hung up.
Try again. Try again on the monkey phone. I'll answer it quicker.
So old Edward Cocaine, after he pulls out the knife, he then raised the knife over his head, drawing it back in a manner suggestive of a potential strike.
God.
So he was going to go full psycho, Mr. Cocaine here. Deputy said the man that was with Cocaine, I don't know if his last name was Heroin, not quite sure, tried to restrain him before both men left the restaurant. According to the release, deputies were able to track down Cocaine, and he was arrested on Wednesday. He faces charges of aggravated assault, burglary with assault, or battery and battery, according to the sheriff's office. So that is one Edward Cocaine. Wow. Don't mess with him.
If that's your last name, regardless of how you pronounce it, you're just going to get into trouble. That's just that you are doomed to get into trouble.
Yeah, I don't know if I would trust Edward Cocaine CPA. Like, I'm not going to get my taxes done by Edward Cocaine.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think. Did we look him up to see if he's on social media?
No, but I'm sure he probably is. And by the way, pretty on brand for a guy with the last name of Cocaine to just fly off the handle.
Right.
And immediately just start attacking people and yelling and screaming. Old Edward Cocaine. It doesn't say who his friend was.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just getting news articles about Edward Cocaine.
Yeah, we'll look him up. Maybe get him on the show as well.
Yeah,
so
don't talk to the
mess with
guy.
Yeah, don't mess with Edward Cocaine. He will pull a knife on you, a Subway knife at that.
This is somebody who was probably had something on board, something on the nose, something in the veins, something.
Yes, and we have video for this.
We do.
This happened at Disneyland in New Orleans Square. Amazing enough, this guy actually from Canada, apparently. This gentleman, a 26-year-old man, he stripped down naked and climbing through the Small World attraction. Then he got to New Orleans Square and started showing off his Small World to everybody. After trespassing, public nudity, and he was also under the influence of narcotics. ABC 7 reached out to Disneyland for a statement, and they deferred to the Anaheim police who made the arrest. And you see the man has not been identified, but he does live in Canada, judging by his canuts.
We were saying a couple of weeks ago that it doesn't seem like there have been a lot of streakers lately, and this guy is just saying, I'm bringing streaking back. I'm bringing streaking back.
You mofos don't know how to act. So here is the quick blurb from ABC 7 News.
New at 11, a man is in custody after trespassing at Disneyland and roaming around naked. That's video of him there. This happened yesterday at the park's New Orleans Square. Workers tried to steer away visitors from that very disturbing sight as that man climbed one of the buildings, exposing himself to the people below and anyone within view. He was arrested shortly after for trespassing, public nudity, and being under.
Yeah, that was bad news. Look at that stance.
Can we go back?
Disneyland.
Yeah, no one wants to see that. Oh, God. Thank God that's a covered roof there and not like a see-through. Yeah. Can you imagine trying to enjoy a corn dog and just seeing that taint just hovering over you like 10 feet above you? Can we go back a little? Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. He could have ripped through that awning. Could you imagine you're just minding your own business, having a nice California beignet or whatever they do at New Orleans?
Yeah, New Orleans Square. Yeah, they have the beignet. Yeah. You get a nice beignet. I want to go back here when he climbs over the steel railing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bold move, Cotton.
Roaming around naked. That's video of him there. This happened yesterday.
Right here. Yeah. Like he's straddling that. Like even with pants on, that's a little dangerous.
Now he's bouncing. Now he's like making it bounce.
Yeah, look at me go. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. This is a great bounce house. And then the squat. right there. Like, I'm afraid what he's going to do next.
Yeah.
Was he trying to like leap off? No one's catching you, man.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Trespassing at Disneyland and roaming around naked. That's video from there. This happened yesterday at the Parkland Square.
Right here. That's dicey. Climbing over to the metal rods there.
I like that they say tried to steer away visitors from this disturbing sight.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Roaming around naked. That's video from there. This happened yesterday at the park's New Orleans Square. Workers tried to steer away visitors from that very disturbing sight as that man climbed one of the buildings, exposing himself to the people below and anyone within view. He was arrested shortly after for trespassing, public nudity, and being under the influence of narcotics. Disneyland.
God bless the Disney employees for trying to steer people away, but this is 2025 and everyone's got a phone. Naked dude gets on top of a tent at Disneyland. People are recording.
Right.
That's just the way. They're not dispersing. They're recording.
And I got to say, God bless to the journalist at Channel 7 who had to make that blur move with him.
Yeah.
Frame by frame.
That took a lot. Yeah, that took a lot to pixelate. Got to pixelate the crank to make sure.
How many times did that get loose?
The buildings, exposing himself to the people below and anyone within view. He was arrested shortly after for trespassing, public nudity, and being under the influence of narcotics. Disneyland has not commented on this incident.
The poor responding officer. Got to get the naked guy down from the tent. Oh, son of a bitch. It is not. I'm getting too old for this stuff.
There's a non-zero chance that he might be an internet influencer and is doing it for the clicks.
Probably.
Like, for example, this woman who appears to... She's big. She's really big. And
she's a large woman, yeah.
Yeah. And from what I can figure, appears to go to places to make a point that, hey, I'm big and you can't discriminate against me.
Oh, so she's going in already charged up like Edward Cocaine.
Yeah. She's staged a protest
chip
over
on her shoulder.
Exactly. What she is saying, the blatant discrimination against fat travelers. Jalen Chaney is accused Seattle Tacoma Airport, of violating people's rights after she was denied wheelchair assistance.
No, I'm sorry. I just went back to Fat Traveler, and I was just like, is that a Blues Traveler cover band where everyone looks like John Popper? So she went in and so she wanted to be pushed around in a wheelchair. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So she went in and said, I want a wheelchair. And they said, no. And so she held up a sign, said, #wheelchair access for all. SeaTac violates our rights.
What?
Yeah. I'm not alone. This happened to other fat travelers, too. When I spoke up, people told me it was because I could, quote, injure the staff.
Oh, no. That can't be the official statement from the airline of,
right.
Sorry, you may injure the staff from having to push you around.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that may very well be what happened. So she said, use your voice. If you're scared, tell me and I'll speak for you. I'll use this platform. I'm grateful to uplift you and amplify your voice. Now, the internet appears to be divided as to whether they want to... Yeah, I know. Whether they want to support this woman or not. Here are... Let me pull this over here onto the screen. Some of the comments that she has been receiving.
Oh, I'm sure the internet, it's going to be choice.
It's really about time people took responsibility for their own choices. And who would she blame if that airport worker damaged their back because of her size? Her two arms work. Start spinning those wheels on your own, says Lisa Card.
Oh, Lisa, going hard. They supplied the wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
Hire an aide, says Bridget.
Anne is trying to be very reasonable. I would say it's probably an OHS issue. They've been told not to in case they injure themselves. Obviously, this woman wasn't thinking of anybody but herself. She needs to be considerate of airport workers who might not be able to handle her weight.
She's a safety risk.
Yeah.
Looking for a payment or a handout.
Yeah.
She
This
can
person is
walk. What is
not-
the problem?
Yeah, what's the problem? She can hold a sign above her head. She's clear.
What does that have to do with anything?
Why can she not grab those wheels and push herself? Not an influencer. She is an attention seeker. Maybe she was too heavy for that particular worker. Perhaps they should have gotten a stronger one or gotten an assistant. Overweight people are still people and they need help too.
God, could you imagine like having that much time in your hands to comment on this? Oh, my body is not the problem. The
Yeah,
system
the
is
system.
hashtag. Oh, okay. All right. Cool story, bro. Or sis,
Monkey
I
phone's
should say
ringing.
in this. Yes.
Go to the monkey phone. Hi, you're on with Mike and Molson.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Let's try this. So this nude guy hops the wall, walks a tarp, but doesn't fall. And everybody knows, and the video clearly shows, it's a small world after all.
Boom. Boom. Brought it home. Well done, Poet Laureate. That is excellent prose.
Nothing wrong with that. That was good.
Yeah, brought it home with a small world. That was nothing small about that lady. So, yeah, so we'll see what ends up happening with her.
And it seems like she's got a bunch of various videos, where she does the thing where she, she's taken up a lot of seats, and she's
I did see her. She's like a a large traveler influencer. I think I've seen her. Yeah, like she got into it with some people on an airplane before because of this. Because they're like, "You're taking up too many seats," and she's
Right.
like, "Well, that's too bad."
So yeah, the internet just wants to wreck you. That's what the internet does.
Well, this lady wanted to wreck a guy on the flight, a flight attendant. Let me introduce you to 64-year-old Jody Lynn Sherryberg.
Wow.
There's a lot going on there. She was flying from Las Vegas to North Dakota, and old Jody Lynn Sherryberg was having a good time, but she was arrested on one count of interference with the flight crew members. The altercation occurred January 16th aboard an Allegiant Air flight from Harry Reid International Airport. Of course it did. Right in the old Harry Reid.
Right.
Sherryberg, a Bemidji, Minnesota resident, did knowingly interfere with the performance of the duties of a male flight attendant identified in the court filings as JM. When she assaulted JM by grabbing... Right, was it you?
Yes.
She grabbed maybe she'd like a nice salmon patty.
Yeah, I'd like a salmon patty.
She grabbed JM's genitals.
Oh no.
A public defender assigned to represent Sherryberg at her first court appearance told The Independent she was not at liberty to speak to you about the case. They declined to provide further details of what led up to the altercation, which is not laid out in the indictment. Legionnaire spokesperson did not immediately respond to requests for a comment. A fellow traveler, though, captured cell phone video of Sherryberg twice grabbing the flight attendant's crotch. The North Dakota
When's
NBC
that going to show
affiliate,
up on Action 7?
Yeah, had report of the time of the incident. Sherryberg was initially arrested upon landing by the Grand Forks Police Department on one count of providing false information to law enforcement. According to a probable cause affidavit in the case, she first gave the responding officers a fake name of Alyssa Hoverson.
This will throw them off the trail.
Exactly. Alyssa must have done something to Sherryberg at some point. The state charge was dropped on April 3rd when the still sealed federal indictment was handed down, court records show. Following her arrest this week, Sherryberg was released on personal recognizance bond in order to stay away from her alleged victim and any witnesses who may be called to testify. If convicted, she may face up to 20 years in prison.
Damn.
She's a 64-year-old nurse and got a little handsy in the old crotchal area of flight attendant JM, and now may face 20 years in prison for twice grabbing the crotch.
Not a hernia test. I mean,
maybe that's your culpable deniability of like, I'm a nurse and I saw something going on there, and just turn your head and cough, sir.
Got a new feature for the show.
Oh, all right.
All right. We're calling this Doing It for the Clicks.
We have
You
a
know,
theme song for it. That's
that's
awesome.
right. We noticed since we've started doing this YouTube show that sometimes people just don't watch the video. They see a title and then they get mad.
Correct. I love that ending. Give me more of
So
that.
here's what's going to happen is when we cut this segment of the show into a smaller piece for our daily quickies that we put out there, we're intentionally trying to cause some YouTube outrage. We are admitting that we are doing this for no other reason other than to get clicks.
I love it. Yeah, it was like the Schumer video that got 20,000 views about him giving national secrets, which was the tooth fairy doesn't exist.
Right.
Jerk. All right. So what's this week's Doing It for the Click story, Johnny?
So doing it for the clicks, ladies and gentlemen, we're offended that you have a dog. You are destroying the environment, you bastards. That's right.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
are.
you are. You're using all the plastic bags with the poop, and they dig up yards, peeing on things, killing flowers. They're an environmental nuisance. Get rid of all pets. There, I said it. I'm
yeah.
doing it for the clicks.
That's right. According to this op-ed piece in The Conversation, there are an estimated 1 billion domesticated dogs. Feral dogs are too frequently seen as threats to biodiversity. This is unfortunately based more. The reason we give them a pass is because it's based more on our feelings than data. We love those puppies so much that we're not going to do them. But you are killing Mother Earth.
Yeah.
Dogs are predators.
That's true. They eat squirrels and they eat other animals, and then that ends up screwing up the biosphere.
Their scent and droppings scare smaller animals.
Correct.
Then there's the huge environmental cost of feeding those carnivores and the sheer quantity of their poo. 1 billion dogs means a lot of poo.
That is a lot of poo.
Yeah.
I am. Thank you, conversation. I am outraged.
Yeah.
I am outraged. Just doing it for the clicks.
We're just doing it for the clicks. Dogs are domesticated wolves, bred to be smaller, more docile, and extremely responsive to humans, but they are still predators. Dogs are responsible for more reported attacks on wildlife than cats. When they're off the leash, they are one of the main reasons that colonies of little penguins are nearing collapse in Tasmania. And I think if we don't care about the little penguins in Tasmania, then what do we care about?
Exactly. What kind of a-hole are you? What kind of a-hole are you?
By
the way, I've changed my mind. I used to be a dog person, and cats were the a-holes. Dogs are a-holes.
Mm-hmm.
Doing it for the clicks.
We're doing it for the clicks. The mere presence of these predators terrifies many animals and birds. In the United States, deer are more alert, and they run sooner and farther if they see a human with a dog. You are stressing out the deer.
How dare you? No wonder they're running into cars. Because they know the deer follows you and says, oh, that's the dog owner. That dog's going to be stuck on me one time. I'm going to exact my revenge early.
Researchers in the U.S. found animals such as deer, foxes, even bobcats avoided areas dogs had regularly walked compared to dog exclusion zones. We need more dog exclusion zones, Mike.
Yeah. You know how much green space are taken up by dog parks?
Yeah.
Parks just for dogs? That's bullcrap. Well, absolute bullcrap.
You know what the dog exclusion zone should be? It should start in Portland, Oregon, and go to Miami.
You're damn right.
That's what the dog exclusion zone should be.
Yes. Agreed. Stupid dog parks.
All their poo. It's got all the medicine we give them to keep fleas from them ends up in our water supply, and no one is thinking about this. So it is the firm policy of Mike and Molson Mangle the News that you got to stop with the dogs. You've got to stop with the dogs. You can't have dogs anymore.
Dogs have had a good run, but it's time to stop. They're an environmental nuisance. Yeah. Absolutely environmental nuisance.
And you should be shunned for having dogs. You should be shunned for having dogs. Shame on you.
Yes. Shame on you for owning a pet. You shouldn't own anything. How dare you? How dare you? You're ruining our environment.
Hey, what are we going to call this? We need a really good clickbaity head because we're doing this for the clicks.
Yeah, we are doing it for the clicks.
Call this something.
Oof.
Pet dogs should be outlawed. You shouldn't. People with
Dog.
pets. Man, we got to. It's something that's really going to.
Pet owners are the worst, or new executive order ban all dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Something. All dogs
yeah.
don't go to heaven.
Yeah, we are officially petitioning President Donald J. Trump to write an executive order banning dogs. That's what needs to happen.
Donald Jehoshaphat Trump.
That's right.
DJT, please ban all dogs. Next executive order.
But if you've made it to this part of the video, please know we're just doing this for the clicks. We don't really care.
Turn the dial and get your fix. Every scoop is hot and thick. Oh yeah, we're doing it for the clicks.
All right.
I love the breakdown.
This week's installment of We're Doing It for the Clicks. Get ready
New
for your
feature.
dog.
Yeah. Put it down now. Save the environment. I know Sparky's been there for you for 14 years, but put him down. He's worse than owning a Hummer. It's worse than owning a Humvee, Johnny, owning a dog. How dare you? How dare you?
All of that.
A new segment. I love it. So doing it for the clicks and Twismo.
Yeah.
Highlights of every show now.
We're trying to get more people to follow. We've got a bunch of new subscribers on the channel. We're grateful for them. Hopefully there'll be some more. And we appreciate you watching our dumb little quickies.
Yeah.
What else do we like?
Share, like, subscribe. We appreciate all of it. More we can get it. We need the kind of ridiculousness and being able to get away from regular news. That's why we mangle it each and every week.
We need the clicks.
We do need the clicks. That's why we're doing this. We're doing it for